It was exactly 11:59 p.m. when I saw her standing in the middle of the empty street barefoot, wearing a white nightdress, her hair wet as if she'd just come out of the rain. At first, I thought she was lost, but then she smiled at me, and in that 1 second before the clock struck 12, she disappeared. That was the first night I saw her, and it was the night my life changed forever. I've lived in the town of Willow Creek my entire life. It's small, quiet, and painfully ordinary. The kind of place where nothing ever happens until something does. I'm a delivery driver. I work late nights, usually finishing around midnight. My route takes me through Old Miller Street, one of those roads people avoid after dark. The lamps there flicker constantly, and the silence feels heavier than usual. That night, I was on my way home after dropping off my last package. The rain had just stopped, and the road glistened under the dim streetlights. I remember rolling my window down slightly, trying to clear the fog on the glass when I saw her. A girl, maybe 18 or 19, standing dead center in the road. Her pale skin almost glowed in the streetlight. Her hair, dark and dripping, clung to her face, and her eyes, I swear they looked empty. I slammed on the brakes so hard my seatbelt locked across my chest. When I looked again, she was gone. Just gone. I sat there for a full minute, trying to convince myself it was just fatigue, maybe a reflection, maybe I imagined it. But when I got home, my security camera had captured something that made my blood run cold. Right before midnight, the dash cam showed a faint figure standing in front of my car, staring straight into the lens. And when the clock hit 12, she vanished, frame by frame like smoke. The next day, I told my coworker Sam about it. He laughed, said I was overworked and probably half asleep. But when I showed him the footage, his face went pale. He recognized her. "That's Emily," he said quietly. Emily Harper. She went missing 2 years ago, right on Miller Street. I didn't believe him at first, but later that evening, I Googled her name. There she was, same face, same nightdress, vanished walking home after a late-night study session. The reports said no trace was ever found, no body, no clues, nothing. Except for one detail every witness agreed on. The last time anyone saw her was around midnight. For the next few nights, I tried to avoid that road. But something strange started happening. Every time my clock hit 11:59, my phone would lose signal, the lights in my truck would flicker, and the temperature inside would drop suddenly, unnaturally. And then, one night, I saw her again. This time, not on the road, but in my rearview mirror. She was sitting in the back seat, soaked, silent, staring right at me. I froze. My breath fogged up the windshield. I didn't dare move. When I turned around, she was gone, but the seat was wet. I stopped driving nights after that, switched to morning shifts, but the hauntings didn't stop. At home, I'd wake up to faint knocking on my window. Always around midnight. Sometimes soft, sometimes louder. Once, I even heard her voice whisper, "Help me." The next morning, muddy footprints led from my front door to my bedroom. That's when I decided I had to find out what she wanted. I went to the police station and asked about Emily Harper's case. The officer on duty looked at me like I'd just opened an old wound. He said the case had gone cold. But there were rumors. People claimed to see a girl matching her description every year on the anniversary of her disappearance. Always at midnight. Always on Miller Street. The locals even had a name for her. Quiet. Too quiet. Even the crickets had gone silent. The air was thick and damp. My flashlight barely cut through the fog. I set up the camera on my dashboard, turned the car off, and waited. 11:58, nothing. 11:59, still nothing. Then I heard it. Footsteps, soft, wet, coming from behind. I turned slowly, and there she was again. She looked the same, barefoot, white dress, eyes hollow, but this time she was closer. She raised her hand and pointed toward the forest beside the road. I don't know why, but I followed. The ground squelched beneath my shoes as I walked into the woods. The smell of damp earth filled my lungs. My flashlight flickered, then died completely. But ahead of me, I could see something glowing faintly. A small clearing, and in the center, an old, shallow well. The glow seemed to come from inside it. I leaned over and shined my backup light down. And that's when I saw it. A decayed hand pressed against the wall of the well. I stumbled back, heart racing, and in that instant she appeared beside me. Her voice was faint, almost drowned by the wind. "He didn't mean to," she whispered. "But he buried me here." I froze. "Who did?" I asked. She turned her face toward me, her eyes dark, empty sockets now. "My father." I ran. Branches tore at my face, my shirt, my legs, but I didn't stop. When I finally reached my car, it was 12:03 a.m. The engine wouldn't start, the lights wouldn't turn on, and from the woods behind me, I could hear soft footsteps approaching. Then her reflection appeared again in the side mirror. She looked calmer this time, peaceful almost, and she said something I'll never forget. "Thank you." The car roared to life. The next morning, I went to the police and told them everything. They didn't believe me, of course, until I showed them the footage from my dash cam. The video clearly showed me walking into the forest, and later, digging near the old well. The police investigated the site, and there they found bones, wrapped in the remnants of a white nightdress. It was Emily Harper. Her father was arrested 2 weeks later, after he confessed. Apparently, they had argued that night. She threatened to tell her mother about something he'd done, and in a moment of rage, he pushed her. She fell, hit her head, and never woke up. He panicked and buried her in the woods, behind their house, near the old well. But something about it still didn't feel right, because when they pulled her remains from the well, they found something else. A second skull, smaller, older. No one could explain who it belonged to. There were no missing person reports that matched it. No records, nothing. And the night they sealed the well, my camera turned itself on. At exactly midnight, the screen flickered. And for just a second, I saw her, Emily, standing by the well. She wasn't alone. A smaller figure stood beside her, a child holding her hand. They both smiled, and then, together, they vanished. People still talk about Miller Street. Some say if you drive there at midnight, you'll see her reflection in your rearview mirror. Others claim to hear faint knocking on their windows around 12:00 sharp. As for me, I moved away, changed my number, sold my car. But even now, sometimes, when the clock hits 11:59 p.m., my phone loses signal. And in the silence, I swear I can still hear a faint whisper from somewhere just behind me. Don't forget us. The end.